All right, so welcome back for another Deep Dive.
Excited to be here.
Today we're going single source with a recent post-game interview from Davion Mitchell.
AKA Cozell.
Right, exactly, Cazell. And this one's interesting because we're really going to focus on not just the basketball side of things, but the mental approach to guarding some of the biggest names in the NBA.
Yeah, it's really a unique look into the mindset of an elite athlete.
So we're talking about facing Steph Curry, and Cazell goes in with this laser focus on defense.
Mm-hmm.
But what I found interesting is he's not saying that he's going to shut Curry down,
Right.
which would be nearly impossible.
Yeah, it's incredibly insightful. Cozell's realistic. He aims to minimize Curry's impact, force him into tough shots, try to avoid those free throws. It's a strategic approach, especially for a younger player.
And I think it highlights the difference between like trying to stop someone versus containing their influence on the game.
Right.
But speaking of Steph Curry, what makes guarding him so uniquely challenging?
Yeah, Curry's relentless off-ball movement is what truly sets him apart. He doesn't stop working after passing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Paul said it best. The play doesn't start until Curry passes it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that quote.
Yeah.
So for Castle, the defensive assignment never ends. Curry's coming off pin downs, elevators.
Yeah.
It's constant calculated motion.
Exactly. And imagine the mental stamina that Castle needs to stay locked in.
Yeah.
I mean, defending Curry is as much about mental fortitude as physical ability. It's exhausting just watching it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So how do you even prepare for that? And Cassell talked about film study,
Yeah.
but also adapting in the game.
And that's a brilliant lesson right there. Preparation is essential, but real-world application always demands flexibility and problem solving.
Right.
Cuzzel even admits Curry could still go for 40 despite knowing his tendencies.
It's refreshing, yeah, that humility. But this isn't new for Cassell.
Right.
He's consistently tasked with guarding the league's top players.
Which demonstrates the trust his coaches and teammates have in him, especially so early in his career.
Exactly. And he says he loves the challenge. And, how setting the defensive tone impacts the entire team.
That's leadership, right? Taking on the tough tasks and inspiring others by doing so shows commitment to something bigger than yourself.
Absolutely. Speaking of big moments, let's talk about that clutch three-pointer late in the fourth.
Oh, man.
Trailing Curry, gets the handoff from文班亞馬and sinks it.
That composure under pressure is remarkable.
It really is, especially for a young player.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating is he wasn't even planning that shot. He was hoping for a foul.
Talk about in-the-moment thinking.
Right.
It highlights the trust his teammates have in him, giving him the ball in such a critical moment.
And his statement, about never shying away from big moments, even as a rookie, is a testament to his confidence.
It's that seize the opportunity mentality. He's not intimidated by facing these established stars.
Yeah.
He rises to the occasion.
And, it's easy to forget he's playing against his childhood idols.
Oh, yeah.
And he admitted to being like a little starstruck initially.
I think we can all relate to that feeling of awe when you're around someone you admire.
Right.
But what's impressive is how Cassell shifts from admiration to competition.
Right.
He doesn't let those emotions affect his performance.
He even said, at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and play.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
It's about not letting fear or admiration hinder your performance.
Right. It's a valuable lesson for all of us. Learning to balance admiration with the drive to achieve our own goals.
Yeah, and when asked about holding Curry to 3 for 10 from three-point range, his confidence didn't waver at all.
No.
And he kind of mentioned that his defensive confidence is always high, regardless of makes or misses.
It's that unwavering self-belief, that resilience. It's about maintaining confidence regardless of external outcomes.
And Castle's focus seems to extend beyond himself, because he mentioned how connected the locker room feels this year, with this strong belief in their playoff potential.
This speaks volumes about the importance of team culture, right?
Yeah.
A positive, supportive environment can really be a catalyst for success.
Absolutely.
And this contrasts starkly with some of the challenges they faced last season.
But it's not all easy, though.
Right.
Because Cassell had to navigate Draymond Green's notoriously physical screen.
Ah, yes, those screens are legendary.
And Cassell doesn't back down. He understands Green's style and just fights through it.
It really speaks to his mental toughness,
Yeah.
not letting external factors distract him from his goal.
And he doesn't take it personally either.
Right.
He understands it's part of the game, which is a sign of maturity
Mm-hmm.
and composure.
That composure under pressure is something you can't teach, He doesn't let emotions dictate his reactions.
Absolutely. He's maintaining his focus even when things get heated, which is incredibly valuable.
Absolutely, and that mental fortitude can be just as crucial as physical strength, especially against a player like Green.
And his growing partnership with文班亞馬is becoming something special too.
It really is. Their defensive synergy is remarkable.
It's like they're developing their own language out there.
Cazel's ability to fight over screens, combined with Wembanyama's rim protection, is a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. It's a testament to the power of collaboration,
Absolutely.
individual strengths complementing each other to create something even greater. That's where we'll leave it for now.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how this partnership's evolving, especially considering their contrasting styles.
You're right. Like they complement each other so well. And
Yeah.
it makes me think about something else Kazel said. Like at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and play. It kind of highlights the limits of preparation, right?
Absolutely. No amount of film study can fully replicate the dynamism of a live game. You have to be adaptable, think on your feet, and trust your instincts.
And he even mentioned like actively changing his tracking on Curry, trying to anticipate those cuts and screens rather than just reacting.
It becomes a chess match. It's not just physical agility, it's mental agility.
Mm.
Reading the play, anticipating your opponent's next move.
And speaking of mental agility, we've talked about Cassell's defensive intensity, maturity, but that game-winning three-pointer just screams confidence, right?
Trailing Curry down the court, gets the handoff from Wembanyama, and sinks it without hesitation. Ice in his veins.
But what's remarkable is that he wasn't even planning to shoot. He was hoping to draw a foul.
That's what I find so impressive about Cassell.
Yeah.
It's not just talent, it's the mental game.
Right.
That ability to think in the moment, react instinctively, and trust his skills under pressure.
And it's that never shy away from the moment mentality he talked about. Even as a rookie, he's seizing those opportunities.
Exactly.
But what about those physical battles?
Yeah.
Draymond Green screens, like, they're notorious.
They're legendary for a reason.
But Cassell stood his ground.
Yeah.
He didn't let that physicality rattle him.
It speaks volumes about his mental toughness.
Yeah.
Not letting external factors distract him from his goal.
He doesn't take it personally. He understands it's part of the game, which again is a sign of maturity and composure.
Yeah, composure under pressure is something you can't teach. He doesn't let emotions dictate his reactions.
He's maintaining his focus even when things get heated, which is incredibly valuable.
Absolutely, and that mental fortitude can be just as crucial as physical strength, especially against a player like Green.
We've talked about the individual, but what about the team dynamics? Cassell mentioned a real sense of connection in the locker room this year.
That's a stark contrast to last season, yeah. Really highlights the importance of a positive, supportive team culture, strong leadership, both on and off the court.
It sounds like they've created an environment where everyone feels valued and empowered to contribute.
And that can lead to incredible things. It's the difference between a group of individuals and a cohesive team.
So looking at Cassell's approach to guarding some of the league's best players, what are the key takeaways for you?
I think mental preparation is paramount. Understanding your opponent, anticipating their moves, staying focused even under pressure. But it's also about adaptability, trusting your instincts, and having the confidence to adjust on the fly.
And Cassell really embodies all of these qualities.
He does.
It's no wonder he's quickly becoming one of the most respected defenders in the league.
His dedication and determination are truly inspiring, especially at such a young age. It's clear he has a bright future ahead of him.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up, let's circle back to that intriguing detail about Cassell choosing his own championship attire.
It's a small detail, but it's stuck with me.
It hints at a certain individuality, a willingness to express himself within the team context.
It's a delicate balance to strike, but when done well, it can be incredibly powerful.
It's about being a valuable team player while also staying true to yourself.
It makes you wonder if this individuality is part of what makes him such an effective defender. Is he applying that same unconventional thinking to his approach on the court?
That's a great question. He's not afraid to break the mold, whether it's his attire or his defensive strategies.
Yeah.
It's about thinking differently, finding new solutions.
And that's a valuable lesson for anyone, in any field. Sometimes the key to success lies in embracing your unique perspective.
So as we conclude this deep dive, I'm left wondering, is Cassell's choice of attire simply a personal preference?
Or could it be a subtle message about his approach to the game?
Yeah, and even more intriguingly,
What does it tell us about his potential as a leader?
Because he's clearly comfortable expressing himself.
Right, even within the structured environment of a professional team.
Yeah, it suggests a level of confidence and self-awareness.
That's not always present in young players.
Right, and maybe it's this individuality that allows him to approach these defensive challenges with such creativity.
Right, he's not afraid to think outside the box to develop unconventional strategies that disrupt his opponents.
So what does this all mean for you?
Perhaps it's a reminder that success isn't just about talent or skill.
Yeah.
It's about mindset.
Mindset.
About embracing your unique perspective.
Right.
And finding that balance between individuality and teamwork.
Because Cosell shows us
He does.
that sometimes
the key to unlocking your full potential lies in daring to be different.
to express yourself authentically.
And to never shy away from the moment.
He's a true inspiration,
He is.
both on and off the court.
Absolutely.
And we can't wait to see what he accomplishes next.
I'm excited to see it.
So that wraps up our deep dive into the mind of Davion Mitchell.
It was a good one.
Remember, even the smallest details
They can?
can offer profound insights.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Keep diving deep.